Alright, this hand seems like a keeper. We have 3 lands, potentially 4, some board wipes, and some life gain. We're going to keep it. Our opponent has Dig Up going to grab a swamp and send it back over. We draw a land, play our Shattered Skulls, tap, send it back over to the opponent who plays the swamp. They searched and send it back over to us. We draw another land, but it's potentially a spell, which we are looking good. Play our land, send it back over to the opponent. They are going to play, so straight Jund. Start off with Celestis, so maybe some potential graveyard shenanigans going on. We'll find out in a moment. Draw a Sunset Revelry. So we have some options here. Fortunately, we won't be able to do any of the Sunset Revelry, not even potentially Cycle, but I don't think that's good enough. So we're simply going to play our land and send it back over. Nightfall triggers for the opponent. They're going to take a second. Decide not to pitch anything, so fair enough. In attack, I'm going to play a Golgari land. Start off with, Sedgemoor Witch hits the board. So chances they are going to go wide. We're going to go ahead and take advantage because we really don't want them to. So we're going to go ahead and end Catharic Pyre at the end step, paying the 3 life, falling to 17, and getting rid of the Witch. Do they have a spell here? They could have a Deadly Dispute, but they do not. And Witch hits the graveyard. We draw our Arcane Bombardment, so things are looking good. We have to make a decision here whether we want to play the Mirror's Call or not. We're going to decide, you know what, we're not under pressure. We're going to go ahead and just gain some life and cycle Sunset Revelry. Fortunately, or fortunately, however you want to see it, draws us our second Arcane Bombardment. Opponent plays a land, and they're going to go ahead and Genius Inspiration us in the face. Falling down to 18, they're going to go to the market. They still don't know what we're doing, so let's find out what they're going to grab. They're going to grab a Pest Summoning, allow them to go wide, and that's exactly what they're going to end up doing. Putting 2 Pest on the board and sending it back over to us. Celestis is going to trigger. They're going to draw a card and discard a land. We draw our own Celestis. Haha, opponent. So we're going to take a minute to figure out. We're like, you know what? Still want to hold off the Mirror's Call with Celestis. That is going to be our 6th mana. So we're going to play Celestis, hold off on the Sunset Revelry, and send it back over to the opponent. They're going to start off with the Sedgemoor Witch. Let's see if they have any follow-up plays. They're going to simply play a Soul Transfer. That's going to get them another Pest, and they're going to get back the original Witch. Hit us for 2 and send it back over. We draw Play with Fire. Contemplating the Emiria, and we're going to go ahead and play it in back and forth. Maybe do we want that mana? And I think we're going to go ahead and go with it. We're going to take the hit down. We do have a Sunset Revelry in hand, and I think having this 7th mana to be able to play with Fire is what's going to work out for us. We contemplate really quick if we want to wait till their turn or our turn to do it, and it's close, but you know what? Let's go ahead and do it over on their turn. See if we get lucky with our trigger off of the bombardment. So they're going to start off with a Dig Up, tutoring up a card in their hand. We all know what it is. They're going to get a Pest, and our opponent's going to try to pass it back, but at the end of their turn, we're going to target the Witch. Take our 3, but Bombardment is going to trigger. We get boom, 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 our Sunset Revelry. It's going to give us our 4 life, go back up to 17. Give us 2 dudes, draw us a card. Oh my goodness. Take the 3, fall back to 14. Ping the Witch, and we're been, huh? Our opponent's going to finish off their turn with a Meat Hook, Massacre for 0. Fair enough. That's kind of what the deck does. Go wide and ping our opponent to death. But we're going to start off with Arcane Bombardment since we drew another Play with Fire. And we're going to send it back to the opponent. They're going to play their Witch. And we're going to think about it. And they're going to hit us with a Riveter's Charm. That is going to exile our graveyard, which is a decent tech. They should have probably waited for us to cast a spell first. So we're going to play it with Fire again, burning another Witch. Bombardments are going to trigger. We're going to get our Catharic Pyre. Going to go with the discard effect. And we're only going to pitch the Doomscar that we're most likely not going to use since we're going to lose whatever we are discarding. We draw Den of the Bugbear. Second one's going to trigger. We get to play with Fire. This one's going to go to the face because we don't really care about the Pest. And Sunset Revelry getting us 2 more dudes. Not drawing us card this time, unfortunately, but gaining us some life. We're going to bottom a land and all the triggers. Fall back down to 15. Play with Fire goes away. Meat Hook Master is going to trigger. And finally, River's Charm exiles our graveyard. We draw our third Arcane Bombardment. Oh boy, we're going to play the Den of the Bugbear, go into combat, swing with our 4 dudes. Our opponent's going to do what that deck does, and they're going to block all 4, trading, gaining 8, and we're going to lose 4 in the process. But we got to get it done somehow. It's going to happen. All the triggers happen. Gotta love the machine gun effect. We fall down to 10, our opponent goes up to 28, and then we're going to Sunset Revelry, get us some dudes, trigger some bombardment. We're going to go ahead and Catharic Pyre, go back and forth on what we're going to do, but we're going to go ahead and skip that, decline that. There we go. And then we're going to trigger the other ones. So let's go ahead and play with fire. There is an argument to potentially pitch the burn down the house, but I like to keep spells in our hand to make sure we can continuously trigger our bombardment. We're going to kill the last pest. And since our Revelry's going to trigger, we're going to drain 1, they're going to gain 2, etc, etc. And our opponent's going to Vastwood Surge on their turn, grab a forest and a mountain, and at the end of their turn, we're going to win a big score, discarding our burn down the house, triggering our bombardments, and oh my goodness, our opponent's going to contemplate for a second and let us do our thing. So, double Sunset Revelry and play with fire. Let's start off with the old trigger. So, fair enough, our opponent's eyeballing our creatures. We're not going to get any, but we are going to draw a card, and then of course our hand is still smaller than our opponent, so we're going to draw another card. Not a bad play. Doomscar, don't need that. Gonna send it to the bottom, and second bombardment triggered. Ha 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 ha. All the things. We're going to make a bunch of devils, and we're going to go ahead and use the loot effect on Catharic Pyre to be able to pitch both our lands and draw more gas. And sure enough, that's what we do. All the instants and sorceries. So we're going to make 3 devils. A big score is going to trigger and draw 2 more cards, get 2 more treasures. We can play with fire on our opponent's turn. But we're going to wait. It's our turn. Oh yeah, that was all at the end of their turn. Ugh. Fire up the old Den of the Bugbear, go to attacks. Our opponent is going to Infernal Grasp our Den of the Bugbear. Take a second to think about it if we want to use the mana, and you know what? We are going to. So we're going to go ahead and activate, get our red mana before the Den of the Bugbear bites the bullet. And we're going to play with fire, triggering our bombardments, triggering more instants and sorceries. Oh my goodness. So start off, or finish off by burning our opponent. We're going to big score, being able to discard another Doomscar that we don't need into the graveyard. Sunset Revelry, all the things. You guys are catching the idea of the deck yet? Because we're doing it. Ping our opponent, scry a land to the bottom, and then we're going to Arcane Bombardment a second time. Doomscar is going to... We should have activated the... burn down the house there, but of course I am still getting used to playing the card, so we misclicked. Of course, finally our den dies. Our opponent gains 1, and we go into the red zone with 5 dudes. Take our opponent down to 17. We're going to go ahead and play a land, gain a life, twist up to 30, and then we're going to send it back to the opponent. They're going to be hooked for 1, effectively wiping our board. They're going to pick the 1, because why not? Our dudes die, they get some triggers, we get some triggers. We're going to ping them for all 3 in the face. And triggers resolve. Our opponent decided to go 1 at a time. Fair enough. We're going to resolve all, get the machine gun effect, and we could pyre at the end of our opponent's turn, but of course, why not? We're going to loot some more, discard, some triggers go off. All the things. Our opponent is going to Shigeki, getting back Ignition. Fair enough, so they'll be able to go to the market, potentially get some kind of artifact destruction or enchantment hate. And we're going to get all our triggers. Boom, boom. Go bottom, scry, face, burn. Do. Another set of triggers. Imperial Oath, going to add some power to the board. Make some more dudes. Dude, finally start off with the Doomscar, and our opponents had enough, and they scoop it up. Yes! Greetings, happy friends, and welcome back to the MTG Struggle Bus, where I struggle more playing Magic, so you don't have to. If you've ever played 3, 4, 5 spells in a turn, then you may have come to the right place, my friends, because we are dabbling in Arcane Bombardment again. This time going with a straight Boros build. You see a lot of blue, a lot of black with this. Our first iteration you saw somewhere down below was with the Rakdos version. This one, we are capitalizing on life gain. Spells like Sunset Revelry and Revitalize, as well as Cosmos Elixir to not only keep us alive, but also draw us additional cards. We have a bunch of filtering effects, obviously, to sculpt the hand, and a couple of one-up fun-ups to be able to hit our market, level up our guys, destroy things. And then finally, Imperial Oath, which I think is a solid one. It gives us 6/6 worth of stats on the board with Vigilance, Scry 3 so we can dig into other spells, and like it's just solid, as well as Amir's Call, a land that doubles up to create 2/4/4 angels. If we're able to copy any of those things with Arcane Bombardment, time to go to town. We are able to select what spells we do cast off of Bombardment, so having things like Doomscar in the deck is not really an issue because, of course, we can simply choose not to do it, which you'll see in some of the gameplay. But that is the deck, my friends. So this shout out goes out to Colton Tao. Colton, thank you so much, my friend, for supporting the channel. I appreciate you. You rock. And this Boros Bombardment deck is for you, my friend. Alrighty, this hand, well, we got some lands and we got some board wipes and we have our bombardment, so we're keeping this bad boy. Opponent starts off with a Celestian land. We start off with our tap land, not going to take 3 damage, we don't have to. Sending it back to the opponent, they play a Plains, followed up by a Prosperous Innkeeper, giving him a treasure. Alright, so maybe a life gain synergistic deck. We draw our own life gain in Cosmos Elixir, but we're going to go ahead and foretell the Doomscar, because we know we are going to use it. Opponent plays a Luminarch Veteran, start getting some life here. Any follow-up plays, thankfully not. They're going to get him for 1 and sending it back over to us. We draw, burn down the house. I will take as many board wipes as possible against the life gain deck. Play our 3rd land, and let's go ahead and just kill the Veteran here. That way we encourage our opponent to potentially play it again, and we can kill it for good. We're going to grab our Environmental Science, and Voice of the Blessed comes down, so we're definitely dealing with Celestial life gain. This thing starts to grow. Our opponent gets in for 1. We take it, and they send it back over. Shadow Skull Smashing is going to be a good one. Decide to go ahead and Environmental Science to grab our 4th land, play it, and we are going to Sunset Revelry, giving us some dudes, gaining us some life. Unfortunately, not drawing us a card, but it will buy us a time and hopefully encourage our opponent to continue flooding the board. Sure enough, they play the Veteran from the graveyard. We're okay with that. Try to get him for 4. We're going to go ahead and chump block because that's what those dudes are there for. Our opponent is not going to have a follow-up play. We draw Play with Fire, but we're going to hold on to that because we do have the Burn Down the House as well as the Bombardment. That would be an easy way to trigger it. We're going to play our Cosmos Elixir because we are going to, sure enough, draw a sweet, sweet card. Field of Ruin, not bad. That's going to be our 6th land, so we are going to be able to play Bombardment on time. Opponent gets their 3rd land finally. They missed a couple, and they're going to play Righteous Valkyrie. That's going to get some triggers, and oh boy, that Voice of the Blessed is starting to get a little big. Thankfully, it's not going in the air just yet, so our 2nd Peasant is going to sacrifice itself for the greater good and keep us above a healthy 20 life total, so that we get to draw another card off of Cosmos Elixir. Opponent sends it back, and we get to draw an Imperial Oath. But we're going to go ahead and take advantage here before that Voice of the Blessed gets too big and burn down the house. But Tamiyo's safekeeping. Our opponent's been sandbagging it. We think about Play with Fire, but obviously it doesn't do anything here. Bunch of triggers from our opponent. We are going to get to clear somewhat of their board, but man, that Voice of the Blessed is gotten really scary. It's taken to the air now, and oh boy, is it big. We get to draw a card, Catharic Pyre. Now our opponent has an 8/8 that is 4 counters away from, correction, 3 counters away from being indestructible. So we are going to have to fire off that Doomscar quick, fast, in a hurry. Thankfully, our opponent taps out, plays a Righteous Valkyrie, making an 11/11. Oh my goodness, this is going to hurt so bad. Really would like to play the Bombardment here, but we can't take another hit like that. So unfortunately, we are going to have to Doomscar here, not being the most mana efficient thing. 4 mana not really giving us the opportunity to do anything else, but we are going to get 2 life, get back up to 14. Opponent's going to meet us in a tavern. Let's see, and oh man, we got lucky here. They draw only a Voice of the Blessed. We're going to go ahead and take advantage of this. Arcane Bombardment, leaving up Play with Fire. Going to gain 2 more life. Go up to 16. Yes. Opponent plays their land, Righteous Valkyrie. Unfortunately, their life total is 29, so we're not going to have a window here to kill the Voice of the Blessed before it gets the counter, because it's already going to be big. But the thing is, we can start burning their face. And so now we're talking. And you know what? We can easily burn down the house. Let's just go to their face again. Go to the sideboard, grab Mascot Exhibition, and oh boy, are we going off. We're going to go ahead and bottom the Celestis. Don't need that anymore. We have plenty of land. All we want are more spells, more life gain coming down. Burn down the house is going to trigger, clear the board. Arcane Bombardment. Doomscar. So unfortunately, the way it works out, we aren't able to change our option on Burn Down the House. So we're gonna go face with Inspiration again, go back to the sideboard, and gonna grab the other Mascot Exhibition. Clear the board not once but twice, because we are thorough, and we're gonna send it back to our opponent because we do have an instant speed. I'm not gonna gain the life until our opponent's turn, triggering Bombardment again, and here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Boom, boom, boom. Gonna grab this Science, because why not? I think that is all our basic lands, unfortunately, and Doomscar to wipe an empty board. We could cancel that, doesn't matter. Get the sweet animation, go to the face again, and go to our sideboard, and let's go ahead and just simply draw cards, triggering our Bombardment again. Science is going to gain us 2 life, which means we are going to draw some sweet cards off of Elixir next turn, and Revitalize will allow us to draw another Doomscar. Get our land for the turn, play our land. Let's go ahead, and we were going to apply Imperial Oath, but decided, you know what, let's go ahead and just start drawing some more cards, which honestly was probably the greedier play. Playing Oath would have been absolutely fantastic. We could take Academic Probation to essentially stop or lock out our opponent. Still don't have any land. Scry to bottom, and draw all the things. We're going to go ahead and Foretell to make sure we don't have to discard anything, which I believe we still do, so why not discard a Mascot Exhibition, because hey, we want to draw that anyways, and that's exactly what we end up doing. Our opponent draws the card, sends it back over. We Pyre at the end of turn, triggering, oh my goodness, boom, boom, boom. Let's go ahead and speed this up here. You guys don't need to see all this. You've seen it plenty times before. I think you know what's going on. And we get a huge board. Our opponent calls it quits, and we get the W. Alright, this hand, well, 3 lands and board wipes and some speed, so I will take it. See what we're going up against. Opponent starts off, oh no, Arsov. Oh, so we're gonna have to worry with Verse dealing with our bombardments. They shot off with a Shambling Gas. Go ahead and play our tap land, and sure, let's go ahead and play with Fire before they can potentially treasure or Deadly Dispute and get some ramp value. Might as well, like, we have very few targets, getting some stuff on the graveyard. Of course, immediately punished with them playing a Professor Symbology. We draw Sunset Revelry, so you know what? That's okay. We can take a hit, potentially draw some extra cards, and we have blockers for the Professor. Opponent plays a Plains, and a Restoration of Aganjo comes down. I'm going to allow them to grab another Plains, and next turn, obviously, ramp or get back the Shambling Guest if we want. They hit us for 2, we take it and like it. Draw another land. Contemplating what we want to do here, and we're going to play our untapped land and Sunset Revelry here. Gonna fire it off, draw a card, gain some life, get some dudes on the board, and send it back over to the opponent. Not really sure why I didn't play the tap. Oh, that's right, we need white. Makes sense. Opponent is going to play Science, and they're going to ramp up with the Plains, and a Meat Hook for 1 is going to clean the board and start to ping us. And now they get to enable their game plan. Opponent goes to 24, we go to 21, play our Den of the Bugbear, and send it back over. They get the 3rd chapter, flipping it over to a 3-4 that makes a bunch of dudes. That's going to be an issue, but thankfully they play Soren here, and they're going to -2 to make a Vampire, which is perfect. Exactly what we want to see for our sweet burn down the house action. We're going to Revitalize, gain some life here, draw a card just in case, see if we can get any closer to a Bombardment. Draw another land, play our dual land, and of course, let's clean up the board nice and tidy. We will take 2 in the process, but we're at a healthy 24, so I think that's perfectly okay. Opponent draws a card, plays a tap land, sends it back over. We draw another land. Oh, come on. looking for gas. Considering that this deck typically plays a lot of board wipes, I don't see the point in burning down the house right now for 3 devils. We're going to fire off a land, that way we start burning our opponent's verses. That way they have less chances of getting rid of a bombardment when we do draw it. A reliquary, roadside reliquary from our opponent is going to allow them to draw 1 card. Let's see, nothing, they send it back. Another burn down the house, and we're going to fire off the Den of the Bugbear. Once again, trying to get in damage and trying to burn that removal. No removal from the opponent. They take 4, falling down to 19. Oh my gosh, so many lands. Fire off our Den of the Bugbear again, get in there. So they don't have verse, so I'm feeling pretty good if we could just draw our bombardment. Hold the Shatter Skull. Smashing is another instant or sorcery to play. Meat Hook Massacre is going to take care of our 2 Goblin tokens, unfortunately. Ping us for 2, take our opponent back up for 2, correction. We're going to fire off the Den, get in there. And there is an argument to fire off Celestis, but Infernal Grasp. So no verses from our opponent, unfortunately, which scares me a little bit by the time we get to ours. So we're going to go ahead and play the Smashing untapped, because why not, to play Celestis so we could start filtering, pitching our burn down the houses to get closer to a bombardment. Wedding Announcer from the opponent. Not the worst, but that's going to be an issue. Oh, still no bombardment. Where are you? Oh gosh. We're going to go ahead and activate, allow it to become night so we can hopefully draw into a bombardment. Maybe. Sweet. Yes, we will draw a card and another land. Pitching the Aganjo. Yes, we could have pitched the burn down the house, but once again, I feel like we need to keep those to be able to wipe the board, as well as getting rid of Planeswalkers. Deadly Dispute is going to get our opponent back up, unfortunately. Drew 2 cards, get their 3rd. They're back up to 4. Play a land. They're flooding as well. Shambling Ghast. Okay, not the worst. Uh-oh. Dockside Chef. This is going to be a problem. They are definitely going to start to out-card draw us. And I'm going to go ahead and fire off the big score, because once again, we can pitch a burn down the house. We could get back with bombardment. Do we get it? Still no bombardment. This is painful. Celestis got to let us see another card. We are happily going to take this action. Land. Yep, I think we're good. We're going to go ahead and pitch a land. Wait, what? Deja vu. Our opponent's get Deadly Dispute again. Refill the hand. Ugh, gross. They're going to grab 2. Are they going to activate Dockside Chef? It looks like they're not going to. Going to switch over to Night. We get to draw again another land. This time, I feel like we're going to go ahead and pitch the non-dual land. Of course, gains us life that may be relevant. Rite of Oblivion. Oh, no. Oh, no. This is going to be a major issue. They're going to be able to start. That's almost worse than verse. All right. It's fine. It's fine. Maybe we can. Okay. Takanume gonna get another right in the graveyard and get back Sorin. Play Sorin. Oh no, this is not looking good for the home team, my friend. Minus Sorin, and thankfully we kept that burn down the house. Our opponent was kind enough to tap out, so we are definitely going to fire this off. They make a dude that doesn't quite matter. Team gets bigger. We draw our other Celestis. We're going to play that because we want to burn those Oblivions as quickly as possible. Once again, safeguarding. We're going to burn down the house, clearing the board. Going to get pinged. Thankfully, we've gained plenty of life, so it's not too horrible. Fall down to 16, and we're going to hold the land to be able to pitch the Celestis. Our opponent plays another Wedding Announcement. Drawing all the gas. They're going to Rite of Oblivion. This is what I was worried about. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's not our bombardment. We just need to draw bombardment. We'll be okay. Field of Ruin. All the fields. Our opponent doesn't have a creature land in sight. Flips back over to Night, but sad. Womp womp. No Celestis. They get another 2/2. No! Can we? We're going to wipe the board because I don't want them to draw an extra card off of their Wedding Announcement. Don't know if that's right or wrong, but we also want to keep our life total up. All things considered. Where is our Rip Apart? 3 enchantments just waiting to get destroyed. Rip Apart. Elixir? Okay. Well, we're not going to get to draw a card, and we know they have the Rite of Oblivion, but I guess if we do it, that gets rid of Edgar. Oh, gosh. This is... Talk about an uphill battle. Come on, deck. Come on, deck. Alright, so they write. Yep, we knew that was going to happen. Falling down to 12, that's an issue, but... Alright, no more rights, no verses, so bombardment, and then we're fine. We can get Crack-a-Lack-and. Do we see one? Nope. Another Pyre. We are going to Sunset Revel. Maybe draws us, doesn't draw us a card, but we get some dudes and gain some life. so we can slow roll this Edgar, fire off the cave, and get in there because why not? We have nothing else to do. Don't really want to fire off the Cathartic Pyre to pitch one just yet. Hopefully we draw a second land and we can pitch that and see. All right, Edgar's going to get into the red zone. Of course, our peasants are going to do what they do best and chump block, keeping us at a healthy life total because that meat hook is an issue. Rip apart, where are you? Bombardment, where are you? We're going to take our opponent, correction. Our opponent's going to gain 1, go up to 13. Do they have any follow-up plays? No, come on. All right. Fine. 3 pyres. We're going to go ahead and use 1 at some point. Fire off the old cave. Get in there. Still no verse from our opponent. So, man, if we could have just drawn our bombardment. A graveyard full of spells. Send it back to the opponent. They're going to get in there. We're going to chump block yet again, keeping us at 16. Our opponents could go up to 11. I'm worried about them having 3 cards in hand, though, and nothing to do. They're going to send it. Let's see. And Pyre, do we get there? Come on, deck. Hook it up. And pitch a Pyre and the land, and boom! Yes! All right, let's see if this is going to be enough to get us back into the game. Celestis, not too bad. Immediately play the bombardment. And we have some options here. We can Pyre, we can Inspiration, but we're going to Inspiration, go to the face. Our opponent's at low enough life total. We may be able to burn them out. Play with fire, that's what we want to see. Go to the face again, dealing 5 to our opponent. Elixir. Yeah, I think we leave it on top, right? It gives us a chance to gain some life to counteract the meat hook. We are going to grab our Exile effect, or Reduce to Memory, so we can get rid of Edgar, as well as all those pesky enchantments. Oh, man. All right. Hopefully we draw. We're going to go digging, pitching the Celestis, getting some triggers. Unfortunately, 5 damage is not enough to get rid of Edgar. Yes! Thankfully, draw the Sunset Revelry. We're going to get some jump blockers. Yes! Doing the thing. Come on. We can turn this around. We're going to... Opponent's at 4. Ugh. We can do this. Come on. Come on, deck. Spider Queen. Lolth. Okay. That's fine. We have a Doom Scar. We have Burn. We can do this. No! Oh, this is not good. Not good at all. I thought we were going to get it till there. All right, what do we have? We're going to have to... Let's get rid of Edgar before they go any wider. Just get this ball rolling, right? And Deadly Dispute. All right, that's fine. That's fine. It doesn't come back, so we at least got it off the board. They don't get a dude. They do get a treasure that they can use the Rite of Oblivion on. We're going to go ahead and take care of Lolth so they at least can't draw additional cards. Granted, I guess maybe at 5 they that was I don't know. Professor Symbology. Oh man, double Anthem on the board makes all these guys huge threats. We're going to take a minimum of 8. Our opponent a full board here and plenty of ways to gain life. We can't block. We're going to fall down to 7. And Oblivion is going to make the other elixir. Dockside Chef. Oh my goodness. Opponent. They are being champions. All right. Play the elixir. Wipe the board so we don't die. Our opponent's still going to ping us, unfortunately. It's going to be close. But thankfully, we are going to be at a healthy 1 and then gain life going up to 3. Our opponent's going to draw all the cards with Dockside Chef, so the Doomscar did more. We're down to 1. Keep the planes in hand so we can discard to big score. Opponent finally plays their creature land and gets rid of our elixir. We're in trouble now. If we can't get rid... Oh, thank goodness. Revitalize. Going to gain some life. All right. Big score. Digging for a bombardment. Come on. Or Rip Apart. Rip Apart, Bombardment, Miria's Call. Lorehold Campus is going to let us scry. We're going to play that, send it back over to our opponent. Oh my goodness. The hits just keep on coming. Our opponent's a pro. Legion Angel. Going to go grab another Legion Angel. They're going to play it. Going to go for lethal. Grab the 3rd Legion Angel. We're going to revitalize at the end of the turn. Draw something good, please. Doomscar. Okay. That's something. Man, we really need a bombardment. Field of Ruin, they're 1 creature land, so we hopefully don't die just yet. Back up to 6, and we draw... Doomscar. Fire off the Doomscar. Probably should have foretold the Doomscar here, but we're going to go ahead and leave up Lorehold Campus to hopefully be able to scry into another bombardment or a rip apart. We really need to get rid of that meat hook. We are in trouble. Double Anthem makes absolutely oh man, Professor Symbology gonna let our opponent go to the sideboard again. Grab their Mascot Exhibition, play that. All right, biggest top deck of the game. Do we get it? We're gonna scry. And we're going to keep it on top. Sunset Revelry is going to gain us some life. I think that's quite important. We're going to Sunset Revelry first. And then, yep, Doomscar, clear the board because we have to. Probably incorrect. Probably could have done it after. Either way, we weren't going to get creatures, which was the biggest thing. But I guess we save our opponent from gaining 2 life. So maybe we should have. Legion Angel is going to come down. Grab the other Legion Angel. Our opponent is going to play Law. Oh, writing on the wall, my friends. All right. Well, we are contemplating scrying, but decide not to because we're going to need the treasure. Draw a land. That's not going to do it. And our opponent takes the W.
To fight. Heed the trees. They prepare for war.
Well, happy friends, that is the deck. And yeah, I like this one. It can feel a little slow, but I think the fact that we have life gain mixed in repetition, the point of weakness, obviously, like you saw in the game that we lost, is the Arcane Bombardment. If they target that, it puts us in an awkward spot, but at the same time, that's why we're playing the deck, honestly. And I feel like minus the Arcane Bombardment, that's very specific, everything else works out pretty well. It's unfortunate we never really got to capitalize on Imperial Oath. I think that would have been a cool little touch to it. But, you know, sometimes things don't always work out the way you would like it to. But yeah, I think this deck's a solid 4 out of 5. Once again, I have a hard time giving it a straight up 5 out of 5, just because that it has that point of weakness of Arcane Bombardment. But you also saw the fact that it comboed very well having board wipes and spells that created creatures. So yeah, this is super cool. I like it. I wish we, yeah, man, the one of fun ofs, man. You know, really wish you could have played Amira's Call or Imperial Oath over and over again. That would have been super sweet. But c'est la vie. That being said, thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate you. You rock. Until next time, as always, happy gaming.